Hey, and welcome to E1M7 of Heretic. This is the Crypts. So, the Crypts has a very nasty start if you're playing on the top difficulties. There's a whole bunch of gargoyles here, just waiting to ambush you as you're heading through the water. It's best to get rid of these guys before we head into the next section. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of golems on top of that platform over there. I think there's only one that can actually hit us with long-range projectiles, but it's worth taking care of as many of these as we can. A particularly good tactic here is to stand behind this wall here. The enemies in the window over there can't shoot us, and they do get very aggressive. Oh, thought to get rid of all you guys, clearly not. The golems are stupid enough to wander over here and kind of just walk around in circles. Like I said, I think there's only one that could actually shoot us from above, and I think we took that out earlier on. We'll pick up the claw orbs as well. We'll be needing those later on in the level. You can grab the gauntlets here. You can see all the enemies in the window there. You've got to make sure you don't hang around too long on this level, especially in this opening part, because they will get very aggressive. Missed that completely. With the yellow key in hand, we can head inside the yellow door there. You can already see the gargoyles in that window are just throwing absolute fireballs at me. Absolute fireballs are no different to normal ones. I don't know why I said that. As we make our way into this next section here, there's a whole bunch of gargoyles, but we have the crossbow in hand. As we grab the egg in here, a very obvious trap will drop. If you hang around at the bottom of the room, it can be pretty nasty, so try to get out as quickly as you can. There's nothing else in there to take note of. Be careful heading through this shadowy bit there. There is a platform that will come down and crush you. One of my memories from playing this as a kid was that crashing and making a very loud noise as it did so, which sticks with me to this day. We'll take care of these warriors here. The gargoyles that throw the fireballs are an absolute menace on this difficulty. They are very quick to fire, and they can do quite a lot of damage if there's a number of them around you. We can help ourselves out as well here by taking out a number of the enemies in this room. We will be coming through here towards the end of the level, so it's a good idea to thin the herd as much as possible. Blue door to the left there. We can't go in there yet. That's actually near the end of the level. And we can't go up these steps right now without hitting a switch that's in the section above us. It's not the best place to fight these enemies here. The narrow corridors and the darkened room does make things a bit difficult. Okay, I did mess that up there. I was trying to drop one of those bombs to take out the enemies, or at least weaken them, but as you can tell, it did not work for me at all there. Another good example here of taking out enemies in a future section to make things just a bit easier when we head out there. We're actually going to be heading in that direction right now, but there's already a lot of gargoyles out here who try to ambush us as we make our way around here, and I really didn't want to be dealing with all of them as well. There's a lot of things to do in this section. If you really just want to get out of here, you can grab the green key there. But there's a lot of side sections to this and a few secrets that are pretty helpful if you want to get through to the end of this level. You can see this here. That doesn't come down for a little bit. You actually need to grab the dragon claw, which is in the center there. Don't know what I've got stuck on there. There's a secret section here though. We'll drop down here. There's a switch that we need to hit to lower the platforms to get out of this section. This is another secret section here. We're grabbing a Tome of Power there. That will be useful towards the end of this level. If you come inside here, this actually lets you go back up top if you can't go back up through the lift section earlier. You can see... Nice. You can see that is the lift that we saw the top of earlier on. It brings us back to this room here. I should have grabbed the Dragon Claw there, which is what I'm going to do right now. It's pretty essential that you grab this if you're doing a 1 start on the top difficulty. There's a lot of enemies in the back end of this level, and unless you've got your hands on a Tome of Power, which we have, things are going to get very messy very quickly. You can see this little section here opened up. There's also a teleporter there now. This actually takes us here. We didn't come to this section at the start of the level, but this is actually one of the ways you can go inside the green door if you really want to. Personally, I prefer going in the other way just because it allows me to do a little fun moment with the gauntlets, which I'm going to do in a second. Up to now, I haven't really made use of the gauntlets in this run, but that's about to change because I love using the gauntlets at this point here. This is a really good section to just whip the gauntlets out and have a bit of fun because you're able to regain your health so quickly. You can basically just make use of the gauntlets' regenerative powers here, and I do not want that. Make sure you've just got a load of health as you're taking out all the enemies here, saving a bunch of ammo, because this is a room where you can lose a lot of ammo very quickly. God bless infighting. Hit this switch here. Oh, we didn't finish that there. As you can see, if the Tome of Power runs out mid-gauntlet use, it will just switch back to the normal gauntlets, which is fine unless you're being attacked, at which point you kind of become defenseless for a second. Take out that golem there. You can see this brings us back to the starting area which we were in just previously. You can also see this section here has opened up. It's very easy to miss this section. If you don't come outside, you probably won't even spot that this actually opens up. There's also a very cheeky secret here, hidden in the sort of walls of that cavern area. This is another green door area, but it's not really an essential one. It's very possible that most players won't see this area just because it's kind of out of the way. When we hit that switch, the thing drops down there. The thing, that's a very scientific term for a grave. As we head through here, you can see that this actually leads us back into the room where we grabbed the blue key earlier on. It has to be said, this is probably one of the more useless secrets in Heretic, because there's not much you can really do up here, but it is another way that you can theoretically get inside the green door. So that makes 3 ways to get into this room, which is a pretty interesting way to design a key door, if you ask me. There's only one direction we can head in right now though, and that's through the blue door here. If you didn't clear the enemies out earlier on, they will ambush you at the door there. As you head up the steps here, the wall opens up and it reveals a whole section filled with these lovely enemies. This is a good place to make use of the Tome of Power if you're not feeling too confident about your chances. I do like the thrones there as well. To Heretic's credit, one thing it does try is telling a story through the levels. Some of these levels, especially in the first episode, they do kind of feel like areas where people would be living and exploring, and they do kind of have a feel of like towns and places where people would be wandering around. And things like that, like the thrones, are pretty interesting to see. Bit of bad timing though, the tower power failing on me, but it doesn't really matter. We're right in front of the exit here. There's a teleporter there, which we don't want to use. We have to step on top of here to open up this area here. That was amazing use of the egg power. This brings us back to the starting area, and if you really wanted to get back to the starting area, that's how you do it. And that is the exit. We're not quite done with this level yet though. There's still a handful of enemies that we need to take care of. This teleports us back across the room here. But we do want to step up here. I think there's enemies, yes. There are enemies up here. And this brings us back full circle. So this is right near the start of the level. Because we picked up the map scroll, we can see if there's any areas that we've missed. I don't think there is. I do like this level. This is a nice chunky level. It's got a lot of enemies in it. It's got some well thought out battles, and I do kind of like the progression through the crypts. So this is one of those levels I feel that does nail that sense of progression that Heretic does so well at times. This was the penultimate level in this episode, so the next level will be Hell's Maw. And yes, Heretic does name its final level in the first episode as the same name as the second episode. It's weird. We'll talk about it in the next video. But let me know what you thought of the crypts, and thank you so much for watching.